Okay, just doing some final checks. I haven't done this in a while, so got no idea if anything's stuffed up. I also got OBS Studio mode set up, and that's something that I haven't done before, so just double checking a few things. Yeah, so I need Studio mode because just to be safe with Koikatsu. I'm not sure if like anything's gonna flash up or anything. That'll be pretty bad. I think everything looks good, so I'm just gonna give some... Oh, actually I need to broadcast the live stream first to the people on Discord, so I'm gonna just do a bit of that. So everything's gonna be timestamped. The extra stuff at the start can be skipped if you guys want. Streams, just... Let's see if this... Yeah, that's working. Cool. And I need some music for myself. Yeah, so that's working. And I think the BGM shouldn't be too overpowering. I was kind of doing some tests before. I was really working on the audio because my audio tends to like have static on other stuff onto it. So I just want to get that right. Oh, and I need to put the skin suit on. One sec. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna double check everything's working. All the Blender stuff is working. I think it's working. Oh, I need to set up a scene for Koikatsu first, actually. And this is gonna take a bit. Do I want the scene to be a game output or a display output? Specific window, right? And I'd want capture cursor. Yeah, that looks good. It's not going to pick up any sound as well, hopefully. And I'm going to put this behind chat here, so yep. Okay, I hope this was working. If it's not working, then I don't know. Just tell me if it's working. If the volume is off or anything like that, just let me know as well. I do have my stream up on my other monitor, but I can't hear any sounds. I don't want any reverb or anything like that. So, yeah. Oh, hey, David. How are you? What time is it over there? There's also a bunch of folders and all that I need to set up as well. I need to show you guys a few things. It's also complicated, but at the same time it's pretty straightforward. It's just the setup that's really annoying. Like, I don't even know where to, like, start with the whole... Like, if it's a written tutorial, I don't even know where to start. so just better do a live stream, but even then it's a bit so before I even jump into Koikatsu, I need to explain a few things. And hopefully I can set this up. Let me do this first, because I need to explain what I'm doing before I actually do it. It's probably the better idea. Okay, I need to explain this first. Oh, it's noon. You must be in Europe then, because it's nighttime for me. It's almost midnight for me. I think this time works out best during the weekends, so it's not too early for me, so I just don't wake up and feel like crap, and then I just jump on to do a live stream. Okay, yeah, that explains it. Okay, so yeah, let's start. So before I even go on to do anything, I need to explain what this is first. So basically, to export anything in Koikatsu, my main tool is actually the BBP add-on. I'll put all the files up onto my Discord. Hi Kuro. Oh, glad you can make it. EU gang here, because seems like everyone's here from the EU, which is good because yeah, I'm trying to find a good time zone, and looks like this is working out. Yeah, so just back to the start. Before you do anything, you need a few files if you're doing this, and the main file that you need is called the KKBP add-on, and you'll need two of them. So the main one that I use is the one for Blender 3.0, which is this one, the one that I'm indicating here, and I think that's version 5. What? Is the stream okay? I'm just gonna open the window meanwhile first. The stream crashed. Are you sure? It's okay. Yeah, I refreshed it, it looks alright. So anyways, yeah, the main file that you need is the version of KKBP for Blender 3.0, and I believe that's version 5. I'll put the file up on Discord afterwards. And then you need a newer version. So the newer version that I use is for like Blender 3.4, but I think the other ones are okay as well. So basically why you want to do this is because the 3.0 version exports a better quality mesh, and by that I mean the eyes aren't over exaggerated, it's accurate to the actual mesh that you get in Koikatsu. In some of the newer versions, I'm not sure what's happening, but the eyes are a lot larger, like it's too relaxed, and I think that they expect you to adjust it using shape keys, but that's just too much work. And the newer versions, however, have a better shader, so it automatically shades the hair pretty well. And so for characters with like two-tone hair, let's say with hang on, let me fix this. With like Ai Hoshino, or like some other gacha game characters or something like that with different colored hair, like two sets of hair, two sets of color on the hair, that would actually fix a lot of issues. So you want a newer version and an older version for that reason, and these files will be up on Discord. And the other thing is you'll need another what's it called, another plugin called Gray Mesh. And what Gray Mesh is for is that there are sometimes Koikatsu cards with head mods, and what head mods are usually heads that have been, they're basically modded on heads with like 3D eyelashes and all that, and they use like different terminal, like different names or file names that KKBP does not recognize. So when KKBP tries to export that, it will crash. So you'll need gray mesh for that. And gray mesh is also good for like a just to exporting the raw texture files. So when you do KKBP, you get texture files as well, but it's kind of contaminated a little. It's a little bit washed out, the colors. And gray mesh would actually get a version of that is what's it called, properly colored. So yeah, I'll put the files up on Discord after the stream. I still need to figure out like the packages and all that. It's a little bit annoying, but yeah, it'll be up there. And I'll show you guys what to do, so it's all right. So what I do in this window here, usually I have a bunch of different versions of KKBP. And so you get like the 3.0 one, you got like the newer versions here. So I just slot this in when I need it. So if I need to like, let's say I'm doing Aya Hoshino again, and she's got like these purple bits on her hair. I will get the file with 3.0, and then I will quit the game and then put in the file for like 3.6 or something, and then export it again. So I'll do the entire process that I'm about to do with the 3.0, and then I'll do the process with what's it called, 3.6, and then just kit bash them together. But most of the time it's fine, but it's just good to have. So just separate the different versions of KKBP, and then just put it into Koikatsu when you need it. And for Koikatsu, where these things go, it's on the GitHub file itself. But I'll just show you guys. It's hang on, I need to move my mic because it's blocking my eyes. It's kind of making me cross-eyed. Yeah, the mic was like right in front of my face, so that was a little bit annoying. Yeah, so once you get the files later on, just go into here and plugins. It'll just jump into here, and you just throw this into here. So for me, it's like it's somewhere here. Yeah. You guys got any questions? And then I can do like a live example. I need to play around with OBS a little bit. I need to turn off the window. One moment. Yep. Okay, so we're now playing around with Koikatsu. I'm just going to go into Virt Maker. Hopefully nothing bad happens. So for today, I'm going to prepare Dawn, who's the poll winner, the character poll winner. Am I going to put one with some head mod / CUA? Well, CUA is like a thing for Virt-a-mate. It's not really a thing for Koikatsu. And there are several, like there are a lot of cards with mods on them, but they're not CUA. And that gets a little bit trickier. But generally you will know if you need to use gray mesh when the actual porting process just crashes. Like if it crashes, sometimes it'll just hang up and then it'll only export like half the thing, like there's no PMX file at the end of it. It's just a failed export. Then you know that you need to use gray mesh. Oh, elag? I guess I can do it as well. I just show you what to do. But it's generally the same process. So what I'm about to do here is just the same process for elag. Because I've done that card before, the one that you shared with me. And it's the exact same process. So what I'm about to do here is just to drag Dawn, and I need to find her card first. Oh, right, yeah, here she is. So you notice that, like right up here, there's a warning that says that the sex has been changed and all that. That's mainly because I think the card that was given to me was a sunshine card, and if there's an issue here, then what you have to do is to should I press this button or not? One moment. Basically, you need to save this character and then load her up again. So I've already done that before, but let me pull her off the screen for a while. I'm not sure if like the I'm not sure if there's like naughty cards with like nudity. So yeah, there is. So let me just load that first, and yeah. Ooh. Okay, so that's good. Okay. So I basically saved the card, which was a sunshine card. I just saved it and then reloaded it, and it should fix everything. Wasn't asking for porting eleg, just saying that she has some custom objects. Yeah, if she has some custom objects, it's still the same process. The custom objects do not really affect the main porting process. It's just usually ones where if you go like here, some of them have like 3D eyelashes, or the head is like a modded thing from like MMD or something. It's really rare. It's not easy to find. It's like 90% of most cards are like these. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it. I'll still do it. I just go through. I go through with it just to show you. But let me do this first. Can you get a drink? My mouth is coming up. Oh, so you said I tried to port a Genshin model. She ended hairless and clothless. Is that on Koikatsu, or is that the export? Is that the exported PMX file or on Koikatsu? Because if it's on Koikatsu, then it's because you're missing on the export on Blender. In that case, then you need to use the gray mesh, which is this thing up here. So I'll do that as well. Because if it's appearing on Koikatsu and it's not exporting properly, then you need like the gray mesh, which is a much more manual method. So, okay, so we got Dawn right here, everything's loaded up. So I'm just gonna do the KKBB thing first. So you just basically press this button here, and it should do everything itself. And then you have to wait for about a minute or two, depending on how fast your computer is. And a new window should pop up. So sometimes it takes a little while. Just let the whole process run. And it just popped up. So let me put that on the stream right now. Let me try and find it. And why is it not working? Yeah, hang on, I'm trying to wrangle Windows to work with me here. Just hold on for a bit. OBS is being really stupid. Oh, here we go. Yep. So it should show up something like this. I'm not sure if it's... I'm not sure if it's displaying properly. Yeah. So you press the button, this will show up, and you'll notice a few things, and you may need to change a few things right away. So the first thing you should notice is that there's an alpha mask here. And if you pay attention, this alpha mask corresponds with this. So what this does is that it will make certain areas of the body transparent once it's blended. Sorry, once it's shaded on Blender. And you don't want that, you want the full body. So the first thing you need to do is actually go into GIMP from here. You don't see the cursor. Ah, shit, hang on. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let me try and fix this. Yeah. So is it better? Yeah. So the one with the yellow and green, you notice that it kind of corresponds with this here, which is the body. So the green parts will be transparent. The green part will be transparent when it's shaded in Blender, and you don't want that. You want Blender to do the whole shading thing so that you can export it. So what you need to do is to basically open this up with like Paint or GIMP or anything like that. And then just turn the whole thing to yellow. So just grab, I guess I need to turn on GIMP as well. Yeah, okay. It's see what I mean when I said that this is really complicated. Okay, so you need to go in GIMP here, or just Paint or anything, because you just need one color. You just grab this color here, and you just like do this, and you save it. Yeah, and then just quit. You don't need that anymore. And then this should be just fully yellow. So now when you put it through Blender and it does the shading, it will shade the entire body and won't leave out the green parts. So that's very important. And the second thing that you need to do is to export the gray mesh. And this is entirely optional, but I like to do it because it gives you the unfiltered textures. So I'm gonna click on this thing here. This window will pop up. Select these ones here. You don't need the others, just select the third ones and the last one and the second to last one. Click on Find Characters to Export and then press Export. And just wait for a while. The game will just freeze up and now it's done. You see these things here, it's done. So what you need to do is to now go into, and let me turn the menu back on. So what you need to do now is to get that file that you just exported, which is in here. Here, just cut it. And I like to put everything together. So I'll go back into export PMX file and I'll copy paste this here, and also grab the card as well because it's just good. It's just good admin. So I would yeah, hang on. Yeah, I'll just do that. So now you have the gray mesh here, you have the card here, and you have the exported PMX here. So now you're all set. Do you guys have any questions? Because I haven't streamed for a while, so I'm like super like unorganized. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just let me know. I may have skipped a few things and all that. And gray mesh usually messes up your... Hang on. So gray mesh usually messes up your studio a little bit. So it's good to just go back and then go back and then back into character maker. If you want to export another character. So I do have another character that I want to export. It's for a commission, so I'll just do that now. And I'll show you guys the entire process again. Where is that character? Where did I put her? Where is it? Oh, there she is. I got like a mic blocking half my screen, so I'm a little bit disorientated. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw the character in there again, just to show you guys the entire process. So that's the character, there's no missing mods or anything. So I'll just press this. I'll wait for the window to show up again. Sometimes it takes a while. The window just showed up. I'm gonna try and put that on the screen. So that's how it looks. I'm going to export the gray mesh file as well. So I'm just gonna press this button here. I'm just checking that the cursor is showing up. I press find characters to export, and then I press this. So that's done here, it'll tell you it's done. So you can just close this window and let's see. I'll do another example for Kuro in a moment. I'll just finish organizing this first. So I'm gonna put the window back on, just to show you guys how I organize things. Go to Koikatsu. This is for the gray mesh. Just cut it. Put it in the same folder. And just for good administration, I'm going to grab the card and stick it here as well. So everything's together in one pack. Now, I did mention that the blender will be baking a body. Personally, I don't like to do that. I don't use the baked body. Sometimes it turns up a bit too glossy. It's a little bit too light colored. So that's a reason why I like to use the textures on gray mesh. It's a bit darker. You can see that it's a bit more raw. It's a raw output and it's more standardized for my taste. So I just prefer to use that. But if you prefer the one that Blender shaded, then that's fine as well. That's perfectly fine. You just have to compensate for it. For me, it's just that I don't like it's just personal taste. So if you can compensate for like lightness or darkness of the skin tone, then that's perfectly fine. This one, because it's a raw file, it doesn't have any nipple textures or anything like that as well. So you're gonna have to add that on manually. If you let Blender do the entire thing, the nipples will be baked on. So yeah, that's really up to you. So that's everything for this file. I'm gonna go on OBS and close the window. And then I'm going to go out and back in again to reset. Because gray mesh would like scramble things a bit, so if you load another character, the head will be like out of place and the hair will be like somewhere else. Okay, for Kuro's example. Kuro, are you here? Kuro? Okay, so do you want me to run through Elag or like a similar character? Like another character that'll need gray mesh? Because Elag doesn't really need gray mesh, but I think you might be caught up on something. So... Oh, your connection. Well, in the meantime, I'll try to find that Elag card because I think it's in my... Go for another? Okay. Let me double check if I have this mod, otherwise she might load up nude. 1 second. So this is a character I'm almost sure needs the gray mesh. Ah, yeah, perfect. Yeah, gray mesh is quite easy to install. You do need better import FBX. The file's already on Discord, so you need that. Will you put Dan characters in next polls, or is it still early? Next polls. They're from an anime show, aren't they? So they should be on their own themed poll, I think, in like 3 weeks. Because we just finished the anime one. We're up to like gacha characters, right? And the next one would be VTuber characters. And then the one after that would be back to anime and manga and VN characters. And for Dan, I feel like there'll be better cards out, maybe like in a month or two. Because the super early cards are usually a little like wonky. They're not super nice. You want like cards from LT Suki, Lieutenant Suki, or like Newbie or something. Or even, what's his name? Mio? They usually make the nicer cards. But they take some time to actually come out. So I think it'll be about the same time. You don't need to be too rushed about it. Okay, so right here, I think we all know who she is. Yeah. And she's got a head mod, and by what I mean is that when you look at her from the side, like her head is like a modded head from MMD. Her eyelashes are 3D, so you can see like the lashes are sticking out. The eyeline is sticking out as well. And this is a completely modded head, right? So what happens is that I'll try to export this with KKPP and it should automatically fail. It will try and load, it'll export as many textures as it can, and then it would just fail. So I'll show you guys how a fail looks like. So the game is like freezing up, it's trying to export all the models, it's trying to export all the textures and all that. Though knowing Shiori, it might actually work just to spite me. And it'll be pretty funny if that happens, but I'm waiting for it. Still loading. It's still loading. On hindsight, I should press a button like 5 minutes beforehand. Okay, so it stopped loading, but no, like, there's no window that just popped up or anything. I'm going to go check. Yeah, so I'll put this up on OBS now, just to show you guys how it looks. So you can tell from this window, there's like a bunch of textures, but there's no PMX. So the first sign is that the window does not pop up, because usually when it works out, it'll just pop up. Like a new window will be there on the taskbar. And the second indication is that once you try and dig out the file, there'll be no PMX here. So it's missing a whole bunch of stuff compared to like the other ones. Like if you go to here, there's like a whole bunch of stuff here, and then you have the actual model itself. This one doesn't. And the main reason is because, as I said, there's a head mod. And so what happens here is that you're gonna have to use gray mesh. Now, before you use gray mesh, you need to make sure that she's not blinking. So she's not blinking right now, but you can just disable and put her in a T pose, because gray mesh is like a straight ripper. It rips like whatever pose she's in. If she's in mid blink, her eyes are going to be like a little bit weird. So you need to you need to manually T pose her and disable blinking, and then go into this button here, find characters to export, and then press this. So my plan right now is to do like a normal preparation step on Blender. I'll do that for Dawn, I'll do that for the second girl, and then I will do a preparation for Shiori, because she's a bit different. Okay, gray mesh is for two things. So Kuro here just asked, sorry, I don't understand what purpose of gray mesh is. So there's a general purpose and a more specialized purpose, and the general purpose is to get like an unfiltered version of the textures of the characters, and the textures are for the clothing and for the body, if you're not planning to use the Blender shaded textures. And the second more specialized use for the gray mesh is to export the characters when KKBP is not working. So you need gray mesh, otherwise you're not gonna get anything. Hang on, am I lagging on YouTube? I can't tell if I'm lagging or if it's like VTuber Studio being stupid. Yeah, so I'll open the file window again. Yeah. So just to make it clear, KKBP goes into this folder, it's automatically generated, it's called export PMX. Gray mesh files go into the export folder without the PMX. So at the bottom here, there should be Shiori. And you'll notice that it's not a PMX or MMD file, it's an FBX file, so you'll need the better import, which is linked on Discord already, it's already there. And then there'll be a texture folder, and these will be her textures. So I'll do the thing now where I'll just grab her and I'll throw her into my project folders, and I'll do the same for Yuzuriha. And then we can go into step 2 of the entire thing. And did I close the folder properly? I think I did. It's just YouTube lagging. Alright. So we don't need Koikatsu anymore, I can just close it. Just gonna get some water. Okay, and now I'm back, and it looks like YouTube is lagging. I'm not sure if I'm lagging or if it's the VTuber Studio thing. Okay, so Dawn would be first. Let's do Dawn first. Okay, so this is Blender 3.0.0, and I'm gonna delete the cube. I'm gonna delete everything in the scene. And the first thing you need to do is to go into Cats, import model, and then find the folder of your model, and it's usually called model.pmx. It's automatically generated for you. So double click on that, and that's it here. But you need good sorry, you need to process this. So up here, click on KKBP, click on finalize, and there's a bit of waiting. This entire process will have a lot of waiting. There's a lot of like re-rigging, reshading, and all of that Blender needs to do. So there's a lot of waiting around. Speed depending on how powerful your computer is, and for reference, I've got a 4090. So it's generally a little bit quicker, but sometimes it can take like up to 10 minutes with some more like crazier models. So you need to now process this a little bit on newer versions. This will be, sorry, in newer versions, this will be done automatically. But I prefer the older version because the mesh is more accurate, so you need to do this manually. And Kuro, are you there? I know you, this is where we had our conversation. Okay, so you had issues with the hair previously, so you need to just, in this case, she's a little bit easier. Press 3 on the board. So this is number 1, selects vertices. Number 2 selects edges. You need number 3, which selects the face. Now you notice when I, like, if it's number 1, this doesn't change here on the side. But if it's clicking on it with number 3, this like, there's like a switch. You see here, it kind of bounces around. So with faces selected, this is the face, this is the blue button here, the face. With this selected, that's the material, you click select. So that's the whole thing. And certain models will have more materials, like if it's made up of several hair layers, you're gonna have to like click, press hide, click, press hide, click, press hide, just to make sure you select all of it. So in this case, I press hide, there's still something at the back, so I need to click this as well. And then press hide. Just to like make sure that I have everything, there's nothing hidden or anything like that. And then press Ctrl H to unhide all of it. Now I do want to check one thing. Okay, so there's nothing underneath the head. Hide is H. So if you press, if I select this again, if I press H, it hides. If I select this, it hides. And then if I press Alt H, it unhides. And then I press P, and then click selection. And you'll notice over here, it makes a new category thing. This drops down, by the way. So I'll undo this, I'll show you again. I press P, there's a new selection. And then I press Tab. Because it's in edit mode right now, I press tab to get out of edit mode, and I just unselect everything. So now because this is its own selection, when I press this, it's not its own thing. It's not connected to, you know, it's not connected to, you know, close. So if it's connected, it'll be like this. If it's separated, yeah. So now you get the idea. I run through this again. I go through this with the other model so you can have like another example to reference. But that's how generally it does. Now the second thing you need to do is to go into here and call this here. If you don't do this, the tools, the plugin will not recognize this. It will actually bug out and it will tell you like we cannot process any further and all that. So what you need to do now is to select everything. So just shift click body and just kind of drag down kind of thing. Just shift click body, shift click here. It will select all of these three. And you click this button here. Now a window will show up and what you need to do is just to select the folder. Let me go on OBS again. One second. Just to show you the folder. because I feel like this will confuse some people. Give me a moment. Oh, did I do this before? Oh, that's weird. Oh. Okay. Hey, little funny with some money. Thank you for passporting tutorial videos. No problem. I want to have like more models in the game, and like with the situation going on with gacha games, I could be here like 24 hours a day and I will still have like millions of things to do. So, you know, if the more people who port, the better. Like, I don't want to like gatekeep this. I don't want to be like a jerk and be like, oh nah, I just want to be the only one who's doing this. I don't want that at all. Like, the more the better. And I actually want like a proper community. Like, even if you like don't like anime ports or anything like that, I would prefer there's like more people doing this. It's just better that way. It's just more interesting that way. Kuro. Your question is, it's just body, clothes, and hair. Yes, that's all. There'll be some like sorting out to do afterwards, but the goal right now is just to sort things out in a way for the plugin to process like the shading and everything. So you just want to I lost my train of thought. You want to let the mod do its process and then do like the cutting and stuff afterwards. Because we're not actually done yet. We're only in like step 2. We're only up to like step 2A here. 2A here. So click on this button here. And this window will show up. Or you want to get into this window. This window is the project window. So this is the folder that the model.pmx is on. And you click open export folder. So what this does, it reads the texture files inside of this folder, right? So it's now moving itself. I'm checking OBS just to check that it's... Okay, yeah, as I expected, OBS just... I like a little gremlin moment. Okay, so I hope you caught that, where after pressing this and then selecting the folder that the PMX is on, it'll do all of that. So now you need to do it again with step 2B. We just did 2A, we now need to do 2B. And generally I'll just do this. And it's the same thing again, you go into your folder and open export folder. It's the exact same folder for step 2A. And it will now do like a bunch of like rendering and all that. Now there's a caveat, but depends. What did you just do? Okay, so there is a caveat. Okay, so in this case, you'll notice that the hair is like, that's definitely not Dawn's hair. And that's normal because her hair is modded. Let me pull something up. Let me get Dawn's folder. Where is it? Okay, so this is the folder for Dawn. And you would notice that there's like these textures here. Let me check if it's showing up properly. Now these textures are not the usual KK textures. These are like modded texture files. So, which means that when you put this back into Unity, this is not really a big deal. You, instead of slotting whatever this bakes out into, you slot the original textures into the material sphere instead. Basically, this happened because the texture files, because it's modded, is not standard. So that's not really a big deal. So if you see this, like, don't panic, because like the clothing and all that, it's alright. In fact, the clothing, they're modded from the modded texture as well. So it's not really a big deal. Like, everything just runs off this. So that's fine. That's not a big deal. With the second example, it's probably like closer to your actual experience. It's just that in this case, there's a lot of modded like bits and pieces. So it's, yeah, not probably like the best example to use. But I'm just letting you guys know like what the issue is. Kuro, are you still here? Kuro? Like, what I just said didn't really make a lot of sense, but just roll with it. Anyways, next step is to select all of this. So Kuro, you had the question about the rigging. Like, you got to like one of these steps and you said there's like no rigs on there and you're a little bit confused. Now, this is where the rigging happens. So you just click on the body to the hair and you press number 3. And this is like a longish step. There's like a big pause usually. And this is where Blender will do the rigging again for the model. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's long. So in this case, it's quite fast. And you notice that they all just merged into one mesh file. And the rig now is technically like ready for Unity. I'm not sure how ready it is for Unity exactly, because I don't really work with Unity, but for our purposes, this is what you need. And I just lied because there's one more thing you need to do. So this looks really confusing. So you have like the body rigs, you've got the skirt rigs. Yeah, at this point you can. I've never animated anything on Blender, but supposedly like once you get to this point or like one of these like rigging things, they'll be ready for Blender. So some people will do this and then sell it as like an MMD file on like DeviantArt or something. This is basically what they do. But for what we need to do one more step, so I kind of lied. You notice that there's like a lot of like random stuff on her that we don't really need, because like for example the body rig, Dez does it for us. We don't need that. We don't need the skirt rigging because like Virt-a-mate cannot read that, so we need to do the clothing simulation physics thing ourselves. Kuro, can you change the type of rigging? We can, kind of. I think there's like a few generic templates. Again, I'm not too entirely sure, but like in the newer versions, there are quite a few. So there's definitely ones for MMD. So you see all the MMD videos where you get like Koikatsu models like dancing around. That's not from Koikatsu itself, then that's usually what they did. They just like did the MMD thing and then they exported it like this and then just converted it into an MMD model with MMD rigs and then loaded it into MMD. Right, so we need to get what we need, which is usually the hair. And if we come down here, which is the model, the little skeleton man over here, we click on this one. This is basically the hair and accessories layer. So we click on this one, and suddenly everything's a lot simpler. That's what we need. But before that, there's one more thing that we need to do. We need to click on body again, and we need to bake. Let me do the OBS thing again. Huh? It's not showing up. What? Wait, did I break it? Blender file view. Should be right here, it's just not showing up. Yeah, hang on guys, is having a little bit of technical issues. Ah, okay. So we click on bake materials, just press other textures here, and then store baked materials. So all the shading that's done here will be saved in that folder, and this will take a little bit of a while. This will take a while because it's baking. So if you have any questions here, you can, ask me. Just yeah. Oh, that was quick. Yeah, that was fast. Yeah, so it's done. So this is kind of wonky because it's like a model with a ton of sorry, it's a model with a ton of like modded textures, so it's not like fully what you need. It's kind of useless, to be honest. But those are the steps. And I'm going to switch back to this view because there's going to be a bit of undressing going on. So now we need to do kind of like 2 or 3 things. One is to grab the hair. So when you grab the hair, you want it to have the rigs to go with it as well. You want it to grab the body, you want to grab the clothing, and you want to grab like the little details up here. So I guess we can go back into here. So Kuro, this is where like the actual processing starts. Actually, let me save this as well. Yeah, this is a good place to start saving. So I'll just save it as 1. So save here before you do any of the cutting and all that in case you delete something that you need. I'm just waiting for it to save because there's a ton of stuff here. Okay. So what we don't need are, it's gonna be like full on like Hannibal Lecter shit. We don't need the tongues, we don't need the eyes, we don't need the eye whites, we don't need eye line down, but we do need up. We need eye line up. This is what we need. We need the eyebrows. I used to get the nose as well, but we don't really like it. Like, people don't like having the nose textures on the model, so I leave that out now. Just delete the nose. So I'll grab the face, I'll grab the body, and I'll separate it. And we don't need the teeth either. And we can separate the hair. This as well. Notice that I'm using the material slider, so I'm in the face mode and I'm just clicking this to select. So I don't need to like drag and be like really pedantic about everything. I can just do this. Right. It's really quick. Okay, so we kind of have all the things that we need. I'm gonna turn on file viewer again. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to save this. This is the clothing, and yeah, let's turn on file viewer now. Why is it not working? Oh, there we go. I'm still trying to work with OBS Studio here. And I usually make like a new folder called obj. Or you can just throw the preset on. Or if you remember like the preset with all the rep files and all that, it's got the folders like obj, des, assets already labeled and all that. Just throw that in there, it makes it a little bit easier. I forgot to do that, so yeah, just make your own folder. Just make everything nice and tidy, it makes it easier for you. So I'll just call this clothing. Wait, is it showing up on... Is this showing up on YouTube? There's a lag. There's a lag. Yeah, I'll just name this clothing. And then for this one, I'll do the same thing again. I'll call it details. And I have to just turn off the thing. Yeah. And then I'll do the body. Where's the body? Yeah. This is the body mesh. And I will call this prep. That's just how I organize things. And obviously there's the hair as well. So I'm just looking at the live stream right now. I'm just checking that everything's... I'm not leaving out anything. Ugh. What is going on? Okay, so now with the hair, you need to clean up the rigging a little bit because there's like these extra parts here. So what you need to do is to basically do this. Click on this, press on your number pad, press full stop, and it will just like if you click on this one, you press full stop on the number pad, it will do that. So what you need to do is to just find the head, and usually it's in one neat pile here, so just do that. Just go to the end, which should be everything. So you can tell what belongs to what. This belongs to the scarf, which is connected to this part, which is connected to this, and connected to that, so you don't need these parts here. What is this for? What's this for? The neck, so I don't need that. So I just need these. And then I press separate bones and they'll make their own armature. And press hide on this, press H to hide. So now it separates out, but you realize that this here is still connected to this armature. That's how you can tell, because that's the main one and it's dropped down, like this is connected, right? So what you want to do is to get this into here. And what you need to do is to just press the mesh. So it's always mesh first. It's the same as the other models. Mesh first, shift click on the skeleton. And then press Ctrl P. So now it'll be under this new skeleton. And you can double check everything by pressing the skeleton first this time and then the mesh. And then pressing weight paint and then shift clicking like any of these. And you can see that it's weighted, it's automatically done. So I'll just go back and save this as a FBX file. Let me repeat, as a FBX file. I've had several cases where people saved it as a OBJ file and they started wondering where the mesh went. I mean, where their rigging went. That's the reason you save as FBX. Wait. Did I do something wrong? Did I delete my preset by accident? I think I might have. No, I haven't. So just call this like Dawn Hair, whatever. Dawn Hair 1. I'll just call it Dawn Hair. And that's it. And then that's the whole thing done. You still need to go to like a new Blender file, load up the preparation, body mesh, and then scale it up and all that. But for all intents and purposes, for like separating everything out, cutting out all the parts, this is now all done. Of course, remember to save as a separate file. Because you have one file before you prepared everything, and then you have a file after you've prepared everything. And if you've messed anything up, you can just go to the first file and like hopefully redo everything without having to, you know, rebake and, you know, all that shit at the start. I'm just waiting for it to save. It's done, and I am dropping out of this one. Save. What shall I do now? I should show you like scaling and all that, because there's a little bit of preparation to do afterwards as well. So I'll just do that too. Blender. Please load. Please load. Stop doing that. OBS, you're getting really annoying. Oh, there we go. So, and afterwards it's just kind of the standard stuff, but I'll just run through it. Yeah, and refresh stream, I'm lagging. Yeah. So I'll just run through like the other steps afterwards, just to make it like really clear on what we're doing. I'm going to import. So that's the body that we cut out. And then I'm going to import the G2B model. So you can use the one that I have as a default on the Discord. Man, my throat is sore now. Just give me a moment to load. Give it a moment. Computer's lagging a bit. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Okay, this one. So this is my G2B file. And this would be my bone that I need. And then you have to scale her up to like around her shoulder height. She's a little bit too short, so I'm gonna just do that. And then scale her up a bit. Oh, whoops. Apply all transform first, and then scale her up a bit. Like this. So you need to remember it's 1.26, and I try to make the file name the same. So I'm saving it now, it's 1.26. And then apply. So that's just so I can get the scale without actually opening the file again. It saves a bit of time. So now, she's still not quite ready for wrapping. What you need to do is, before I do that, sorry, I'm just gonna save this. A little bit of back and forth. Save as G2B. Okay, so before you put this into wrap, there's a few things you need to do. This is gonna annoy wrap a little bit, so you need to get rid of it. So usually I highlight, you know, the central part, and then I control plus twice, so 1, 2, and that should bring it to the edge. And you won't need these as well, so you're just gonna delete them. Go here, delete, just drag through here. Control plus once, so you now have the edge of the lips. And then just press down Control plus to select everything here. Yeah, so now it's nicely fresh and prepared. You know, like going all freaking Hannibal Lecter crazy shit here. And then just call this like rep ready. And when you open up rep, it will automatically read this file. And remember to save. So now I'm gonna open a new project, and I'm gonna do the second one that we did, which is what's your name again? Sorry, what's your name? Yuzuriha. And I'm just gonna go through the steps again. Right. I'll just show you guys what I'm doing here. If I wasn't very clear the first time. So pull up cats again, import model, open the folder. Load model.pmx. She's now loaded. Go into KKBP, finalize, wait for a little bit. It's going to be a little bit. Like, depending on the files, if there's like lots of little material bits, then it's going to take longer. So, like now, because the hair is from Koikatsu, I'm guessing, KKBP like recognizes it and automatically selects it. For models with a lot of mods, KKBP sometimes does not recognize it, and you have to do that manually. So I press hide just to make sure that I have everything. It looks like I have everything. Now, I do get questions where people ask, do I get the hair accessories as well? No. They're part of the clothing, so do not select these, but just make sure you only have the hair. In this case now, press P to separate it out. Make sure you have everything. And now you're done. And rename this to hair. And then click on 2A. Select the folder that model.pmx is in. Just the folder. Press open export folder, and then let the shader run. The shader has now run, and you'd notice that this is a lot closer to the actual Koikatsu model. Because Dawn is a model, there's a lot of stuff that did not render properly. Because, you know, it can't read model file names. But in this case, it's a lot closer. And I'll leave it for later. Because I want like a generalized run first. There's stuff you can manipulate inside of the shading tab, but I'll do that later, or like in another stream, because I just want to keep this simple. So now it's done the first layer of shading. You need to do the second layer. So same thing again, click on 2B, select the project folder, same as 2A. And then let it shade. It's gonna take a little bit. Right. Oh yeah, without this, it'll be like absolutely impossible. But then again, you can use gray mesh. The genius in this is really just to export it into like MMD or like a Blender file. If you want just a mesh and like the very basic rigging itself, which I'll show you later with Shiori, it's actually quite simple. It's just this plugin is very good for reorganizing all the rigging, doing all the shading and all that. It's very, very good. Definitely a lot of work went into this. I'm almost like entirely sure that this plugin is like keeping like several livelihoods up because of all the amount of like dance videos there are on like freaking. I'm not gonna say the website name. So this is now all shaded. The shading part is done. Now we're doing number 3. And this is already selected, so I'm just gonna press this button here. It's gonna reorganize the rigging. Huro asks, actually it's rigged and all, so I can animate with Blender. Yeah, you can. People do it all the time. I'm not an expert with Blender animation, so I'm not sure at what step you stop at. So maybe it's fine before you press number 3. Maybe it's not. You need to do some testing. But the rigs are definitely there. It's just that for Virt-a-mate, for my purposes, I need to press number 3 to reorganize the hair and export. So now the Rigify or whatever is done. I will now click on the body and I'll bake the textures. So click on this, click bake texture, click other textures or whatever folder you want to save it at. It doesn't have to be in that folder. You can rename the folder. And then press store baked file and let the thing save the textures. It's gonna take a little while because this one does not use a lot of modded textures that's already there. These are proper Koikatsu textures, so it may take a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I feel like if the people who made Koikatsu or like what's the company called now because Illusion went down, it's called Ill Games or something. If they ever figure out like their games could be like put on VR, like if they ever notice that like what Virt-a-mate's doing, and just put it because they already have VR. It's just that you just can't interact with the models. You can't like hold the models or do anything with it. But it uses the same engine as Virt-a-mate. They're both Unity games. Yeah, but it's really, really bad. You can't like reach out and then like throw them across the room if you want to and all that. And there's no room for plugins. There is, but it's really janky. But it runs off the same engine as Virt-a-mate, so the moment they realize they can do this, it's going to be like hilarious. But knowing how the Japanese sometimes work with their upper management, it's going to take them like 15 years to ever get approved. Yeah, I heard about that as well. I just really hope that they like sort out the blinking because the blinking is just really annoying. Like, I wish the characters can blink properly and the thing with the nose. I kind of figured out how to like fix the nose thing. I need to test it a bit. But the blinking, like I'll let you in on the secret. I think I figured out how to do the blinking thing as well. But I need someone to actually like write a script to replace like a few morphs, like redirect a few like morph instructions. Because I can't code for shit, like I don't know how to code. And at this point, I'm like, what's the point? Because if VaM 2 comes out and it fixes everything, because apparently VaM 2, like there's a beta version that's coming out at the end of the year. If that comes out at the end of the year, it's like, what's the point, right? Okay, so now it's baked and I'll have to like reorganize everything now. So yeah, that'll be fine. I'm gonna turn this off for the time being. So I just do the cutout thing. So as you can tell, if you're like really used to this, it just takes like 10 minutes. So select the stuff that you don't really need, just delete it. Delete the stuff you don't need. Select the stuff that you do need and separate them. Also, I feel like VaM 2 would really depend on the modding scene as well. There's probably going to be a bunch of modders, It's quite lucrative, probably, for people to mod VaM 2. Just look at VaM 1, I think there's like... what's the biggest one there is? I think the biggest one is, what's his name? SPQR. And he's got like, what, like 1,000 supporters or something? Like, don't quote me on that, but I think that's the actual number. So there's probably going to be a bunch of people jumping on the VaM 2, so that's going to be alright. But it really depends on what plugins there are, like the support and all that, because if it's not there, then there's going to be a lot of issues. And also the AI, though there is a spanner in the works, because I think Patreon banned AI. AI chatbot services, or like AI development and all that kind of stuff on Patreon. So they're gonna have to figure out a way around that as well. Where was I? Oh yeah, clothing. So that's the clothing. I need to get the facial details now as well. The eyebrows, eyeline, yeah. I need to grab this too. Need to get a headset. Oh, what? Alright, that's annoying. So just, this should be part of clothing as well. What's going on? For that, I'll probably just join it with the clothing. So just do that and join. Make it nice and neat. And so the body, save it in its own folder, name it prep, as I always do. You can name it anything you want, but it's really up to you. And then the detail, the clothing, sorry. OBJ. Clothing. Saved, and then details. Okay. Oh, and then there's a fingernail as well. I don't really need that. I'll just leave that out. Then the armatures. And I think I need everything here. So I just select this. Don't need that. Cut this out. Click on the mesh first, always mesh first, and then do skeleton, Control P, armature deform, and then skeleton first and then mesh to check the rigging. Maybe this is working properly, maybe it's not. It's working. I think it is. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So they're selected and we can save it. And yeah, this one's done. Yeah, I should have saved at the start, but I'm just so used to the process. I just speed through it. So if you're really good at this, you can complete this in 10 minutes, maybe like 20 minutes if you've got like an older computer. And then you have to jump into like a new project and then scale her, cut up the body a little bit. Cut up the body a little bit. Oh boy, YouTube's gonna have fun with that quote. and then prepare the body for wrapping. And then once it's wrapped, you just do the normal thing, right? You just, you know, what's it called? Modify the mesh. That's right. Just play around with the mesh, get the proportions right. Make sure nothing is like scrunched up and all that. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. Make sure the topology is good, and then throw it into DES, and then you do the textures and everything. Yeah. And because Koikatsu, it's very, very template. Like everything is off a template. You kind of treat the texturing steps and the mesh steps. Everything's like kind of the same. So after I'm done with the mesh, I'll tell you guys how to, I'll live stream you guys how to do the textures as well, because it's basically the same across all Koikatsu models. And that's probably tomorrow. But that's just good to know. But I'm not ending the stream yet, so you know, stick around if you want to keep me company. I was thinking about like doing this on Discord so people can just chat while I do this, but I'm also worried about like people screaming in my ear. But at the same time, I'm thinking it might be fun. I was also thinking we should do like a thing where we just like watch anime on Discord, but I don't know. I haven't watched anime for a while. I haven't even watched Freean yet. I've read Freean, but I have not watched it, and I heard it's really good. Like sometimes if you've read it, even though you've read it, you still want to watch it, just for the visual and audio experience. So I've got some free time now after I finish my, well, most of my backlog, so I can do more live streams and stuff with you guys. We can play games if we want to. Scale this up a bit. 1.23. 1.23, yeah. Save it. Save it. Saved the right one, right? Oh no, I saved the project. Completely derped out. G2B. Make sure you have keep vertex order. Other friendly reminder. And then do the same thing with this one. Because Koikatsu models, a lot of them are the same, so it's just the same steps every time. So you just press it twice. That's for the eye socket, and then it's the same again. So if you're new to VaM porting, if you can handle the technical steps of KKBP, this is actually really, really good practice. This is extremely good practice because you can tell what went wrong with your ports, because all the models are kind of this. Well, I won't say it's the same, but it's the same template. It carries the same like texture maps and everything, the UV maps. So you can just like perfect parts of your skills. You can practice on different skills. It's like if something goes wrong on a certain part, you can just keep working on that one part without like the model changing too much. Yeah, and then save this as wrap ready so my templates can read that. And this one is now done. And we are now moving to Shiori, which is the trickier bit. Well, not really. Shiori. Okay, so Shiori is a model that we use the grain mesh primarily, and it's going to be a little bit trickier. So you're going to need to use this one, not the top one. You need to use the better one, better FBX importer, because the normal FBX importer and Blender is a little bit doo-doo, is a bit trash. So that just makes sure that all the rigging is out properly. Well, not out properly, it's just done properly, what am I saying? I'm starting to think that I stream better in the mornings. Like I'm more coherent for some reason. not gumming up my words. Wait, hold on, what's happening? Wait, I get confused. Is it this one or that one? Oh. Wait, so I don't use the bed one? It's been a while, I haven't used this for a bit, so I could have made a mistake. Okay. No, so disregard what I just said 2 minutes ago, just use the normal FBX importer. Normal one is fine. Normal one is fine. It's just a little bit messy. It's gonna look like this. I don't even know what this is. It's gonna be a bit annoying. What's going on? Why is she so hairy? Yeah, don't be intimidated. A lot of these are just like weird things that you don't really need to care about. In fact, I might just turn that off. That's just normal armature. So she's just hiding underneath all of that. Basically, when you use the gray mesh importer, it's not gonna automatically do a lot of stuff for you. But in these kinds of models, wow, she is kind of creepy. With these kind of models, that's what you have to do. Oh, and notice the scale here. I just need to scale her up. She's a bit too small right now. Yeah, she, so there's like a few things you need to look out for. So there are these things called, it's like a shadow layer, which is what you get when you do like the outline. So they're called highlights, sorry. You just turn that off, and then that's the one for the body, I'm guessing. Yeah, so you just don't get that. You just want the body, because once again you can see that this model is a lot different from the ones that we worked on. You can actually like notice the head shape, and then you notice the eye lines. These are like from MMD models, and that's because it is from an MMD model. These are from MMD models that they model into Koikatsu. So the KKBP can't read that properly to export it properly, so you need to like rip the raw like mesh. You need to brute force it. So luckily with those kind of models, the textures are already done. They got like proper MMD textures, anything, so nothing needs to be baked on, right? So you can just brute force this. It's fine. So just grab all the clothing. All the clothing. I'm not sure what's going on with that ribbon. I might need to re-export this part, but it should be alright. Hang on, shift on that. Yeah, just grab everything. Grab everything. What is that? Their actual body. Oh, shadow caster. No, I don't need that. Yeah, so that's the actual body. So there's nothing. Alright. Join and then do that. Yeah. Let me get rid of the shadow caster now. And that's her panties. And just join here. So there's a little bit of fiddly stuff that you have to do yourself, basically. Why is Yarrick out here? Wait. It's bothering me a little bit. Like this guy here. I know it's not really that important, but okay, this is bothering me a bit as well. What's going on with you? He's got to do with the armature. It's 100% with the armature. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go redo this. Hang on. I think I fucked this up. It happens. It's a bit more complicated. So I'll just redo this. Yeah. Pretty sure it's because I didn't scale her at the beginning and started deleting stuff. Turn this off. I don't need to see these. I don't need the highlights. I don't need the shadow caster. And there we go. Yep. Okay. So I just had to play with the armature thing here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that fixes it. Now we have to redo everything. Just that the armature is a little bit wonky. Ugh. There we go. Something here like shifting. Oops. Okay, it's good. Yeah. That was a little bit complicated, but that's how it goes. It's mostly alright, yeah. It's just minor shifting, but while I'm here, I might as well try and fix it. Yeah, everything looks alright. So I think I can save this. Man, whoever made this MMD model must have been like insane. There's like so much details on it. I mean, it's clothing. What? And there's an error. Clothing. Is it really 11 megabyte? Wow. Turn that off. I probably want the hair as well. So I'll just take that out. Do that a little bit later. I just need that out of the way first because it's blocking the view. And then for the face, yeah, is it shifting while I'm selecting it? The eyes are shifting. It's really annoying. Did you do a shape key? Yeah, it does. I just delete all the shape keys. No, don't do that. It is a little bit annoying. This never really happened before. Yeah, no, that's just freaky. If I delete all the shape keys. I mean, that's technically kind of a natural expression as well, but I think I can just delete it. It'll be fine. Yep. I'll just do it like that. And then I'm gonna take away the hair for a bit, and then just, what is that? I don't need these. Okay, these face parts out of the way, separate these up. This will be called details. And then these are quite unique, so I need to do that later. There's a special process to, to kind of, these are basically the little sparkly bits on top of the eyes. You don't really have them in VaM, so you need to bake this on top of the iris texture. And I'll show you how to do this with the next model I'm going to do, because I'm going to move on to textures and clothing for a Honkai model. I need to do this first. So normally I'll just call this iris base. And if you're using my rep templates, then it'll automatically load this in if you call this iris base. And then this one is just called sparkle. Without an S, just sparkle. I think I spelled it wrong. Yeah. And these ones I'm going to call it details. I don't need these. process this in another project file, join them together. Make sure nothing else is shifting while I should be good. So that's done. I don't care about this. Here is next. So that's her hair. I always thought she had shorter hair, but apparently not. Where's the armature? Now I have to sort this out. So it's not as hard as you might think. You just have to read. Oh no, it's in Japanese. Good thing I have some experience. Yeah, it's usually like this one. So I need to find the rest of the hair. So this one is, yeah, that's the head in kanji. And then you just have to go like that. I'm pretty sure that's it. Why is it not showing up? Is it hidden? No. Is it? Oh, it's not in edit mode? Yeah. Sorry, I need to redo that. It wasn't in edit mode. Sometimes that happens. So I just need to find head again and then all the way down there. Which is of that. Why is it that large? Something doesn't seem right. Really? I can always reload it because I already have the mesh. It's just something. This one's always a little bit difficult. Did I accidentally delete it? I don't think I accidentally deleted it. It should be here somewhere. I know I'm getting sick of these things here. I'm just going to delete all of it. Wait. Why isn't body disappearing? I might need to do another video to showcase this because this is not working out the way I wanted to. This is all going horribly, horribly wrong. Come on, that. Mm. Usually it's something like that. This hair is oversized for some reason. The rigging on it. I mean, let me try and cut it out anyways, just to see what happens. I'm just gonna go along with the actual flow of the process. Just stick with the plan. Sometimes it might just ride itself. At the very worst, what I could do is to just like get her hair from like the official MMD model, and then just like transplant it. Because this is technically this is working, it's just oversized for some reason. Yeah. I'll just export it as it is. A little bit weird, but maybe when I reload it, I might fix this up. Who knows? So this is definitely like a harder process, but you're gonna have to do this if there's a head mod. And unfortunately, head modded like Koikatsu models with like MMD hair transported onto them do look better in Virt-a-mate, but it is definitely the harder option to do. You can try doing this, like you need experience with this anyway, so you can just play around with it. I'm just a little bit confused by what's going on with this set of this rigging here. Seems a little bit oversized. I basically have what I need for Shiori. However, I'm a bit of a sore loser, so I'm gonna open up a new one. And then just double check a few things. Because it's mainly just the hair that I'm having issues with, it's not anything else. Yeah, her hair's sticking out here anyways, and I'm wondering if it's because it's just... I'm wondering if it's because the Blender FBX importer is not very good. I want to see if it runs off the auto one, but... Maybe it's because it's in Japanese that I can't read the file name, maybe? That sometimes happens. Hey Kuro, congratulations! I know this is like huge for you, congratulations. Yeah, go do it. IRL comes first. Do it. Congratulations. I'm not sure you can hear me clapping. Definitely go do the thing because it's noon right now, so it's perfect for it. I'm opening up like another Blender version. I'm not sure if it will be a little bit better on there. Let me double check. I'm confusing myself. Which version am I using? Yeah, just watch the video when it's done. You should do your important IRL thing first. IRL always comes first. This is just frivolous waifu stuff. At the end of the day, you need to sort out your own life. That's more important. Why is the importer not working? Bye-bye. Okay, so it does look a little bit better on Blender 3.4, but the hair is still a little bit oversized. So what I'm going to do is just to raid the official MMD model and get the hair there. It's not really a big deal. But I need to prepare the actual model for wrapping as well. So I'm just gonna load her. I'm just gonna load her here. Load the G2B file. Make her a little bit larger. Make her a little bit larger. Save the Blender file as the scale name. And B2B this. Save this mesh. And then prepare this for wrapping. I want to double check a few things though. I do want to double check the clothing actually worked out properly. Okay, that worked. Yeah, that's fine. And then you double check that the eyes lines up properly. Really need these parts here. So I might need to edit this a little bit. I need to bring down the eyelids a little bit. So I'm gonna do a little bit of editing. But I'm gonna cut these bits out first. Oh, she's got fangs. And her teeth are quite detailed. I might keep these. Oh. I didn't even notice that she's got fangs shaped like this. Okay. I'm just gonna save this now. And then for these parts here, I think this is mostly fine. Yeah, that's just the... I don't want to cut these away. This is too large of a gap. No, that's fine. I'll just mold it to fit. The main issue is really the eyes right now. So I'm just gonna edit a few things. Because when you do anime models, what you need to do to make these fit properly, you'll notice that it's a little bit higher, and then this comes down a little bit. So you generally want the eyeline shape and the eyeline shape and the eye socket shape to actually match. So I need to first check how much it's overhanging by, which is quite a bit. And then use the eyeline itself as like a guide. So I'm just gonna remove the top layer. And you can sort of see how much it kind of pokes through now. Like, I need this part. I need this part. I need this part. It's a little bit pedantic, but if you don't do this, you're gonna have issues. When you do the eyeline clothing importing in VaM. So just join these bits together, and I find that the easiest way is to... Oh, that's just nasty. I find that the easiest way is to just select one of these layers. Is to select one of these layers. And then do a very simple make sure everything's selected on the side. Let me select it. The X-ray thing is... That's too far. Just make sure it goes around here. And then just do a bridge fill, which is around, let's say, here. Here. Make sure you have what you need selected. In this case, that's not what I need. Come on. Yeah. It's kind of just boring work, but it's important. You need to do this. Otherwise, you're going to have issues or your look is not going to be as good. Because the most important things really are the eyes. I'm going to do a bridge loop here. And something immediately happened. Oh, it went the other side. Yeah. And then I'm just going to save this. And then you notice that there's like a little bit chunk missing there. So I'm going to have to do this here and press F. Do this here and press F. And now you have the part where it's like that. And for the texturing, just paint this part black. It's fine because the eyeline will be covering it, ideally. Okay. I'm gonna separate this out. I can delete this part. And then do a mirror function, mirror modifier. Hopefully this fixes everything. Hopefully this is perfectly symmetrical. I think it is. Very good. Oh, but before that, I need to check the facing. Which is good. Usually it's not that way. We're quite unlucky here. Join. And set. There we go. Yeah, so that looks good now. You can just do that and then reset. Not really important, I'm just messing around with the model, but hope it doesn't bite me in the ass. But yeah. Wait, why is your boobs like that? Is that telling me something it's not supposed to? Yeah, you know what? I'll just fix it in the. I'll just fix it later on. Spending way too much time with her. And this will be the rep ready model. And that's about it. Yeah, she's done. It's a lot more complicated. Head models are a lot better, but they're a lot more complicated. Koikatsu doesn't like them. So on my next to-do list, is this model. I'm not sure if Marine's in here. I don't think he's in here. I need to do the texturing and the clothing preparation for her. And I guess the ears and the hair as well. And this little accessory here. So, I mean, the Koikatsu portion of the stream is done. So if you're here for that, you don't have to be here anymore. I'm just going to do some other stuff now. I'm going to do the clothing preparation for her. I'm going to do the Unity exporting for her. And if I have time, I will do the texturing as well. I might take a small break. I need some water. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is to prepare her hair, which is just mainly grabbing this and then flipping the normals around. And then resaving it. And then doing the same for this. This can't really be exported properly on VaM. It has to be like an accessory. It doesn't really hang off anywhere. And they're not joined as well, so if you put like physics here, it's just going to fall apart. We gotta do that correctly. And that's done. The eyes here, I need to separate these out. Make sure these are all in English, by the way. If these aren't in English, then Virt-a-mate does not like that. It won't even load. So if it's not in English, it's very common for gacha game models to be not in English as well. So if that's the case, then you need to just select it and just write anything, really. That's like a common FAQ problem. I need this as an overlay, so I'm going to save it as EL. And I don't really need this borders to be a... These are going to be their own clothing issue. I mean, clothing issue. Yeah, this is an issue. It's going to be their own clothing items, so I don't need to print that onto the mesh. These bits here, I have to. I think they're like her eye shading or something. She's got these red things going on. So for my own rep template, it's EB. I'm just gonna borrow that one. Excuse me. And now I'm gonna just split this up even more. And then save it properly. VaM again? Yeah. Eyeline. Eyelash. So that's gonna be eyelash top and eyelash bottom. That's the wrong button. Sometimes I will solidify these parts here. I might do that now. Yeah, I might as well do that now. Should do it later because I feel like this is going to crumple up. This should be fine though. If you think it's going to crumple up, then we'll do a test run. If it doesn't crumple up, then solidify it. Got like a new ergonomic chair, and it's kind of heavy. It's nice to sit on, but every time it moves, like if I shift forward and then move the wheels a bit, it like slams into my ankle. I'll test this in VaM first. If it works out, then I'll solidify it, just to make it look more 3D. These ones are probably fine, so I'll do the modifier. Now, we had a discussion back before I got fucking ejected from the main Discord. There was a discussion on whether or not resecting the vector, like doing basically like resetting the vectors is important. Some people say it's not, but I'm almost 100% sure it's important because clothing does have like an inner vector and an outside vector, and depending on which side is pointing at where, it does it directs the shading, so you get like blotchy textures if you don't do that. That's a lot of stuff to go. I'm just gonna disable all her thing first. I don't want to get YouTube flashbanged. Now, Yeah, I'm gonna load these on. That's just to make sure that nothing happens to these textures while I'm moving, like fixing things. Without loading the texture, sometimes it's a little bit hard to know. So just load it in like this. So if it starts distorting as you like save and all that, sometimes the mesh does funny things. You know straight away instead of having to repeat everything again. So for the coat, should be okay as like one knot. I say that, but then I see the bits at the back. Either way, let's try and piece them together first. Oh, you see that? Yeah. What if I take these out? Nothing really happens. So it's really up to here. So it's really just. So I can separate. Okay. So I should separate them. This side here. Ah, up here. Is there anything else? I thought I saw a bit more, but I think that's it. Of course. That's on the other clothing. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna like crumple up. So I'm just gonna do this separately from the coat. Is there anything else I need to separate out? The straps, maybe? These parts? No, it's part of the jacket. Now, there's a big chance this might deform. So if that's the case, I might take this bit out. I need to see first. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Because if I take it out, there's going to be a hole. So I might need to apply some physics here. And then just buff it out with the clothing physics. Just make it really stiff. And then like put a slackness and all that on a different modifier. It's not ideal, but that's the best way to fix it. Either have something bad or just have something not as bad. That's just how it does. That's just how it is. Now the cuffs might also. I feel like the cuff might be a little bit tricky as well. Because I might be able to just separate this bit out. And then use the stopper plugin to bring this in like really nice. And then have this just kind of like overlap a little bit. I'll see how it goes first. So I'll just say this as jacket. If it goes really badly, I'll do that as a plan B. And this is the main piece. I'll save the boots for last. And I'm gonna work my way. I'm gonna work my way through here. So just do the bits on the outside first. Just take care of the easy stuff first. So this would be one piece here. Put that there. I thought she had claws. Oh no, that's probably gloves. I thought she had like these things that Alicino has. Apparently not. This is going to be tricky to port. This part here, the overhanging bits. VaM really doesn't like overhanging bits. Yeah, that's going to be, I need to think about how to do this part. Okay. I'll need to break this down a little bit further, but for now, I'll just do this. It's almost like a divide and conquer type situation, where you just want to break things down as much as you can. It makes things easier. This will need fixing up because the toes are sticking out, so I need to adjust the boots a little. I was thinking about maybe using a body mask plugin like with Alicino, but I feel like a lot of people have issues with making like parts of the body transparent, and it sometimes affects how the body looks when you're using like the what's it called, the scattering plugin from Hunting Succubus. So I need to update Alicino as well, with like a version with a bigger boot. Like ideally, if nothing goes wrong, you just load her plugin preset that just hides the feet when the boots are on, just to conserve the space, because otherwise you need to make the boots a little bit bigger and it looks a little bit that much more inaccurate. But if it's make it easier to use, then that's what I have to do. I think this is almost fine. There's nothing I need to break down here. I mean, I could do the collar. Nah, the collar's one piece. All right. Yeah, that's nice and simple. And I'll just say that's the arm strap. And then gloves. Yeah. What's this? Ah, the little decorations. You go back and do the pants as well. For this, I'm going to do. Well, I need to do this first. Just get this out of the way. This is going to be a pain. Do the tassels. Now for the belt. This is probably gonna deform. Like this part here is gonna deform. Things on top of this like ass crack usually deforms. Okay, so the saving grace is that people don't really look at this area here. Like, if you're playing with her in Virt-a-mate, it's usually coming off anyways. If you're playing screenshot games, like playing with a screenshot, this is usually not, like, usually you'll be taking photos here, not here. So I guess in this case, I'm just gonna separate this out. And my plan is just use the stopper plugin to glue this top part to her hip, and then add some physics here, like just down here. And then for this one, I'm going to basically do the same thing, right? Wait, is it separated? Oh, it is separated. That's really, oh, that kind of makes things difficult. I was wishing it's like a hoop. I hope it doesn't deform. I'll give this a chance. I'll give this a chance. I feel like I may be overcomplicating it. Like, if this goes in one piece, like, without any issues, I can just add physics on the end here and it should be fine. I'm worried that this might deform. Where's the pants? Are these actually connected? Oh, these are connected. What about these pieces? Alright. So that's just her pants. And then... Do I want to separate it? If it leaves a gap, it's gonna look really bad. If it leaves a gap... But if it's in one piece, it's kind of crappy if you pose with. Let's stick with the plan. Oops. What do you call these anyways? Excuse me. Like the same thing with Archer from Fate Stay Night. She's got like this butt skirt. The necklace, I feel almost like it should be a CUA. But I don't want to make it a CUA. Because this is a centerpiece model, people will just look into it and see this on top of the boat. So if it looks like crap, I'll give this a choice. I'll give this a chance. If it looks bad, I'll make it a CUA. It's just mainly that CUAs are a pain to just get rid of when you're playing with a model. It's usually easier to just play around with a, what's it called? Clothing. If it's just a piece of clothing, it's much easier. And finally, we have the boots. Where is Das Boot? Das Boot, Das Boot. Das Boot. Where is Das Boot? I think it's down there, yeah. I'm gonna save one. So I'm gonna take this off and just edit this in a mirror. I feel like this is going to be another piece that's going to be an issue. Like every time I see these like straps here, I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, it's gonna be a rough. But the feet is usually kind of easier to work with until you get to the toes. I'm gonna... Hang on, I got a message. It's not important. It's just a notification about Microsoft taking my money. Subscriptions. Hate that so much. You're almost like they should be paying me money for spying on my OneDrive all the time. Did I select the wrong lines? Just make sure that covers everything. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. But with Alachino, oh man, that wasn't pretty. She has like some serious heels going on. Here we go. Okay. Okay, it looks pretty good. I think I had most of the shape. Yeah, and I know the heels are going to be absolute bitch. Probably have to export these in 2 pieces. Though there's a surprising amount of people who like Fate, who plays VaM. It's kind of crazy. Like the amount of like, how should I say this? People make commissions who want specific requirements for Fate is actually kind of crazy. So I'm almost thinking that I should separate out like the body of the boot as well. So you can have like the thing going on where it's just, you know, yeah. I feel like I'll have to edit that a little bit, at least for the heels. But I'm just gonna see how it goes. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes badly. Speaking of badly. That's mainly the clothing boots. Yep, so that's mostly the clothing preparation done. Now it's on to the textures. And for the textures, I would have to start a new project. Do I have time to do the textures today, actually, because it's almost 2 a.m. And I might save that for tomorrow. I'll do the texturing tomorrow along with the what's it called? Koikatsu texturing. So tonight, after the stream, I'm gonna work on Dawn's mesh. Yeah, and then tomorrow I'll prepare her for texturing, which is Sunday for me, and then do the clothing as well. And then release her on Monday. Yeah, it sounds like a plan. I'll prepare her now for the texturing thing. I might as well do it now, so I got a little bit of time. Did someone just message me on Discord? Oh, I think they did. Give me a moment. Not a big deal. Okay. I'm gonna prepare the model for tomorrow. So I think most people are sleeping now, so that's fine. What I need to do is to split off these into their own materials. Fix this up a little bit first. So right now the UV map looks hilariously bad. I do select this, and this. This line, and then this, and this. Well, not even that. There's a lot of this. A lot of these. A lot of that. Yeah, and that's going to be the body. And this should be the rest. Make sure you don't get the eyes or any of the mouths and all that. That's not needed. Virt-a-mate does that automatically. Make sure this is all nice and clean. And then that's it. Am I missing anything? No. Unhide and then separate this out. And this would be the mesh you need for baking a texture. And I'll do the baking tomorrow. I'll show you guys how to do the Koikatsu texturing. And then I'll do the Blender custom texturing. That doesn't really make sense. Substance 3D custom texturing. I'll do this, saving this file as well. So I'm pretty much done. I'll do another stream tomorrow. I need to work on Dawn anyways, so I'll do the textures for her. She's got nice and simple clothing, so I'll do the clothing preparation as well. So that's basically, I'll do the sculpting tonight because that's really boring. And I like to listen to YouTube videos while I work on her. It's like my relaxing time. So I'll do that off stream. It's really boring anyways, and there's no way to really replicate what I'm doing. Everyone has their own way to like touch up a model after wrapping. So I will do that off stream, and the mesh will be done tomorrow. I'll do the textures and the clothing for Dawn, along with the hair and Unity, and then I'll do the texturing for her as well. I suppose it's going to be over 2 hours long. If we have time afterwards, I might hop into VaM and start piecing the things together. There's probably not enough time then. It might be a thing for the day after that, depending if I have time. So yeah, for the people who dropped by, thank you for dropping by. Thank you a lot. I know it's a little bit scuffed, but it's something that needs to be done. and it's something that needs to be like, I need to get that out of the way. There were way too many people asking how to do the Koikatsu thing. There's genuine interest, so it's best to just do it. And I've got some time now. It's better now. Like it's like now or never, basically. Wait. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, okay. It scared the shit out of me. I thought that was like. Okay, okay, never mind. No, that scared the shit out of me. So yeah, it's something that needs to be done. So thanks for dropping in. People who did join the stream, future people who did, to the future people who are going to watch the stream, is a little bit scuffed. I'm sorry about that. I haven't streamed for some time. OBS has its own issues as well. I haven't used OBS for a while, and it's still complete cock to use. So yeah, thank you everyone. I don't suppose there's going to be any questions. If there's any questions, just shoot me a DM. I'll answer you tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow, same time again. So if you have any questions, just do the thing. Just ask for it in chat or just DM me and I'll address it during the live stream. I'll put the files needed for Koikatsu on the Discord as well. Yeah. So that's about it. Yep. Now I'm rambling a bit as well. Worried that the music is a bit too loud too. As well fix up the files now. Mesh. I'm just doing the Koikatsu files. Might as well. We'll have some time. There's two versions of Gray Mesh. I'm not sure which one to actually put on. Wait. Is the file even there anymore? Oh, that'd be really bad. should be it. If there's any issues, yeah, people can just DM me. KK export files. Just got that. I haven't done this for so long. Where do I even put these on my Discord? Guides. Holding required files. Oh, okay, there it is. Wait, why is Unity preset TBI? I haven't done this for so long. Can't even find my own files. Like, huh? Preset folder? When the hell am I that ambitious? When did I even do that? What? Man, this is just getting really strange. Anyways, I'm gonna go. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.